Keeping any job in the NFL is admirable work. However, to keep employment as a quarterback is especially impressive. I've always had an appreciation for the sport's great QBs, but I've also had an extensive curiosity about the guys sitting behind them. Their stories, their personalities, the way they shined or failed in the spotlights are all reasons why they are distinctive and make my list of top 5 favorite backup quarterbacks. Let's get into the list. At number 5 on my list of backup quarterbacks, I have Matt Barkley. Now, Matt Barkley is a USC legend and a Pac-12 leader, stayed for all 4 of his collegiate years, even coming back for his senior year, and that was a highly disputed move because he could have gone high in the draft in his junior year. He was a Heisman favorite in his senior year, but was derailed because of injuries. But as you could see in his college highlights, he was able to really throw the ball, and at the end of the day, became the Pac-12 leader in career touchdowns. Now, once he got drafted, it was tough for Matt to kind of find the same success. He was drafted by the Eagles and then went to the Cardinals, to the Bears, to the Niners, to the Cardinals again, to the Bengals, and to the Bills finally as of last season, where he was able to start a few football games. Now, I always like a good journeyman quarterback for my backup quarterback picks, and this man has certainly put some frequent flyer miles on the card. I just always like seeing on the bench, having Matt Barkley there, having a calming presence, knowing that you'll have a decent number 2. He's an anchor in that backup role, and he's always been fighting injuries his whole career. Those various stints on various teams have been kind of cut apart because of injuries to both his knee and his shoulder. So showing that resiliency to keep coming back and keep a job in the NFL, I really like Matt Barkley at this 5 spot. Number 4 on my list of backup quarterbacks is Brian Hoyer. Now, playing in the shadow of Tom Brady is no easy feat, but Brian Hoyer can still rise to brilliance when he needs to. The Patriots will use Hoyer in preseason sets or when they have a big lead. But when he gets plugged into the system, he can run plays and make reads like Tom Brady. In fact, he's been cited as a student of the game and very intellectual and key in developing Brady's own sight for football. He's also been cited as a mentor for other quarterbacks such as Johnny Manziel on the Cleveland Browns and Jay Cutler for the Bears. Now, what we'd always do is he would sit behind these bigger-than-life stars and just fill in adequately every single time they got injured or they needed help or they were down big or up big. So I can always admire that. And as is the staple for a good backup quarterback, he has been touched by the Cleveland gauntlet of quarterbacks and the rotating door of Cleveland quarterbacks. You got to feel bad for him. But now Brian Hoyer is once again back on the Patriots and reading film with Tom Brady. Number 3 on my list of all-time backup quarterback favorites is one of the most polarizing figures on this list, most likely, and that is Mark Sanchez. Another USC product, maybe they have a thing for making these awesome backups. What can be said for Mark Sanchez? After leading the Jets to a miraculous 2 straight AFC championships, his career was all but fumbled in front of him, quite literally when he ran into his teammate's anus, and now he is a backup left in the dust. But I will say something about Mark. He always comes in and gives a respectable 90 yards of passing, and sometimes is a solution teams think they need to light the fire under them. We saw him do something similar with the Eagles in the playoffs, and then he wasn't able to exactly replicate the same magic with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, it's always good to see Mark Sanchez on the sidelines, and besides, it's so exciting to have a name like the Sanchez. Also, one of the only quarterbacks to ever down a hot dog while on the sidelines. That's what makes Mark Sanchez my number 3 for all-time backup quarterbacks. When it comes to putting the frequent flyer miles on your card, I don't think there's anyone better than the undisputed Iron Man, Josh McCown. Josh McCown has had the legend of playing for the 49ers, Cardinals, New Orleans Saints, Oakland Raiders, Miami Dolphins, Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears, New York Jets, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Cleveland Browns in his storied 16-year NFL career. And As did Brian Hoyer, he made it through the Cleveland gauntlet of quarterbacks, a true stamp on a Hall of Fame backup quarterback in my opinion. He did have an infamous 2006 Detroit campaign where he actually caught more passes than he attempted. In that season, he caught 2 passes for 15 yards, but attempted 0 passes. So he was a very multifaceted athlete. His career also included a stint with the UFL Hartford Colonials. This is an interesting story. After signing with the Colonials, he was actually offered by the Bears a 1-year lucrative contract, but he denied that lucrative NFL contract because he wanted to set a good example for his kids on following through on promises. An example that he said was good for his children, and he said it was a great experience playing in the UFL and it helped him grow as a quarterback. Definitely someone I can get behind, and someone who had a really good season for the Jets. Definitely earns a spot in my Hall of Fame for backup quarterbacks. And finally, my favorite backup quarterback in recent history has to be Matt Cassel, the 3rd quarterback from USC on this list, and the 2nd to play behind Tom Brady. Now, when Tom Brady went down in the first game of the 2008 season with an ACL injury, Patriots fans thought the season was over. But in stepped Matt Cassel, the unknown person who was backing up Tom Brady for 3 seasons beforehand, and similar to Brady, drafted low in the draft, 7th round, 230 pick. Well, after backing up Tom Brady for a few seasons, Cassel was able to step right in and not even skip a beat. In that season, Matt Cassel threw for 3,693 passing yards, which was one of the top marks in the NFL. After this miraculous season, where the Patriots just missed the playoffs, Cassel was able to continue his success in Kansas City for the Chiefs, becoming a Pro Bowl selection in 2010 and had 2 more 3,000-yard seasons. Now, after his Kansas City stint for 4 seasons, things started to dwindle a little. He went to Minnesota and his success kind of fluctuated and then essentially got faded from the starter in Minnesota to a backup. Since then, he's spot started in Dallas, Tennessee, and Detroit. However, his ability to take his one chance in the limelight and turn it into an all-pro career with several 3,000-yard passing seasons, I think is a wonderful feat. And his ability to hold the limelight into relevance after stepping in for 1 season makes Matt Cassel my all-time favorite backup quarterback, no matter where he might end up or how his career might finish. And that is going to do it for my opinions on my favorite backup NFL quarterbacks. Thank you very much for watching until the end of the video. I know this is a new kind of video format, so I'm excited to try it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What would you like me to review? Single item reviews, group rankings? Let me know. Also, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and visit my channel. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.